and welcome back to the series. If you're new here, I'm Jules, and I'm designing a theme park based on urban legends in the United States. And this series is basically a focus on the graphic design elements of designing a theme park. And through the series, we are just going to focus on one area of the land within the entire park. If you haven't seen any of the other parts, I highly suggest that you do. So before I go any further, I'm gonna let you do that. So I'll wait here and you go do that. Okay? I'll see you later. Don't worry, I'll be right here. You good? Okay, great. So now that you're all caught up, let's get into this next part of the series, which is UI design. Basically, that means that we are building an app. And I say UI design because we're not doing the actual UX part. And I'll get into more detail. If you don't know which one is which, I'll go into those details and we'll figure out that together. Since I'm only working on a specific part of the park, I'm not doing the entire app. I'm actually going to focus on a few pages. That way I know that it keeps it simple and also gives you a better idea of what kind of theming you can see within the app, while also showcasing part of the organization of it all. Okay, that being said, let's get into it. And we'll talk about the planning and what the difference between UI and UX is, and what is UI and what UX is.
Okay, let's go.
So the plan for this section is to cover it as if I'm doing the app in full, and mostly building it out with filler images and filler text and all these different things, but mostly adding Phoenix Forge theming where I can, and I'm using Adobe XD to build these pages. My thoughts were to actually have each land be a customizable layout for each user of the app. So the main page and color palette of the app can be unique to what a user wants. Each land will have its own set of images and color palette to go and change, and I think that shows mainly again on the main page. And we're focusing on Phoenix Forge, so these are the images and the color palette I'm going for. Before I go any further into the build, I just want to get all of you up to speed about user interface or UI design. More times than not, user experience or UX design will come with it. So basically, what is what? User experience or UX refers to the user's journey when interacting with a product or service. UX design is the process of creating product or services that provide meaningful experiences for users, involving many different areas of product development, including branding, usability, function, and design. And with that being said, I'm here to make things really look nice and look pretty, so that's where UI comes in. UI design, on the other hand, refers to the actual interface with which users engage. The UI design process may include buttons or widgets, text, images, sliders, and other interactive elements. UI designers ensure that every visual element, transition, and animation included with a product or service is settling the stage for a fluid, positive experience. While UX is very important because it is an in-depth process of getting data and feedback in order to make a functional and successful product that is satisfying to the user, UX also doesn't stop at websites or apps, but UI is definitely more focused on a digital product. That being said, I'm doing UI for this process, and I'll go into more detail of why when I'm pretty much talking about the build itself in my process. Now that you got all that info, let's talk more about this app. I used screenshots from the Disney app to help me get a basic look of what this app could be, since theirs is very user-friendly and it's really helpful not only in the park but also outside when planning your trip. Since this was the Disney World app, they had a section of the main page that allowed you to pick each park and see about the hours and go into more depth for the shows and attractions they offer. That being said, I only have the one, so I decided to do a crowd meter instead. The main image and color scheme is what can be changed through the settings of the app, so for the sake of the video, I chose Phoenix Forge, and the app will adjust to the change in day. Later on in the build, I actually end up doing an alternate for the morning. I use the map as a placeholder since I'm still working on the map. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel here. The map and filter that they made I think works perfectly and would be replicated for a more organized and user-friendly experience. I don't want to overcomplicate for the sake of just being different. A lot of this is filler text and images just so I have a better idea of how the page would look. The little tan circles are just a way to represent a place for the icons and will be that color in the future. I also do a virtual ticket layout, and this would be available in the app but still able to connect to like your Apple Wallet. But it just basically makes it a scannable digital ticket at the gate and could possibly be used in other parts of the park like resorts and restaurants. I think I also made it so that if it was like a fast pass or something like that, it kind of gives you a number or some sort. So the thing that I thought would basically set it apart from the other apps that are used for theme parks is a way for it to be interactive with the park itself. Now, I know that Disney has a separate app that you can play games and interact with the park as well, but I wanted this within the app if possible. This part of the app is a way for guests to interact and play multiple mysteries within the park. Each area has different stories that you can choose from, and all have a different ending. You can choose how many people are playing and what level of difficulty it would be for you. From there, you have your main menu that has all the things you will need to solve the case. I want people to linger in each area, so that's why I want the mysteries to be contained to each area. You will indicate what land you are in, and you will use your camera to help interact with the clues that you find to solve the mystery. Clues can be saved for future reference, and you can also keep additional notes. Virtual tools can be picked up along the way in order to interact with things within the area. So, for example, through one of the clues you find a key. That virtual key, when used on the next location, will be a physical chest that will open upon use. Lastly, you also have your badges that will be given to you as you make more achievements over the course of the mysteries you solve. In addition to the game and all those pieces, I actually wanted there to be a little more interaction in terms of going onto the rides and into the queues, but I didn't want that to hinder you making progress within the game. So I think I decided that it would be kind of fun just to put Easter eggs in the queues and the rides. That way you're able to walk around the park, linger around the park, but also just enjoy the rides as well. But it wouldn't make a difference in terms of trying to solve the mystery. This isn't themed to the changes. The game part isn't themed to the changes you make on the app, but I did want to share something that would at least be a little different than just the copy and paste of the structure of the other app. And with that, I'll show you the final layout and let's get into my final thoughts. And this is the final layout. The build was a bit daunting for me, but I think overall I really like how it came out. There are some things that I would want to improve on, like having the main page be animated with art that has the rides shown, just to indicate more that it's Urban Legends America and not just anywhere. Obviously, I want to add in the actual verbiage, info, and proper icons, but overall, I think the app is how I imagined it. Some replacement images will wrap it all together, but I think I'm calling it good until we obviously add more to the mix and get in depth of more of what this app has to offer. You guys made it! So, I would just like to say a big thank you to my Patreons for supporting me in my journey in making this theme park. I would also like to welcome Jeremy Lawrence to the Folklore Enthusiast Club. I am so glad you made it. Thank you, as always, to the Absinthetic Orchestra for supplying my music. And of course, a huge thank you to you for watching this video. If you like what I'm doing and want to continue on to this series, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye bye. Penguin?
Yeah.
How do I spell how do you spell penguin?
Yes. Penguin.
There's no Q.
Is penguins.
Are you sure?
There's no Q in penguin.
Crested penguins.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Oh!
Penguin. Penguin.
Please don't
It
add
is.
that.
It's in there.
Please don't add
P-E-N.
that. No.
Look, you got me spelling it with the Q. Pen. Then G-U-I-N.
You have a white.
Do I have whiteout?
And now it's worse because I'm repeating everything you say into the microphone.
I don't.
Oh, fuck.
Scribble it out. That's all you got, baby.